Hello everybody, Friday morning. I got the sequence of these devotions a little bit dear makar. I was speaking earlier in the week about Peter and the disciples in the boat, and that the boat represented the church and Peter are the laborers, and despite the experience that they had under their belt on this particular occasion, it didn't count for much because they caught nothing. And the reflection earlier in the week was that maybe we have to sit back and not always resort to the way things have been done. It may not always be the most effective way of going about matters. Be that as it may. You remember Jesus said, put the nets on the other side of the boat, and they pulled out this huge haul of fish. And then they eventually bring them in. And Jesus says, come and have this braai, which they do. And Jesus says, bring the fish. And then we read an interesting little thing. So there were 153. Now, it's really quite a strange observation. Why didn't they just say, you know, there were lots of fish? But John tells us quite specifically how many fish there were. So he must be trying to tell us something more than just the number of fish. And interestingly enough, I think the reason why that figure is put into the text is because in those days there were only 153 fish known to the world. Now obviously there are a lot more, and we've discovered a lot more, but in those days they felt the sum total of fish in the sea in terms of different species was 153. So that kind of clarifies it. So what could John be telling us then? Surely it's this, that we are to let our nets down, and we've got to look to Jesus and ask for his wisdom as to how we should do it, and that this message must go to everybody on the earth. Every person must hear the good news about Jesus crucified and risen. Okay, so you can't go anywhere far, but you can very gently, very graciously, just share your own witness and testimony with your neighbor or somebody that you're going to have coffee with this morning. Don't stress about it. Don't get into a pickle and think, oh, I've got to. If an opportunity ever arises, just share something of what Jesus means to you. And that's the meaning of 153. The whole world must hear. And it can begin today, perhaps, at that coffee shop where you're going to be meeting your friend, or wherever. So may God use you. May God use you to bring light and hope into places of darkness. God bless you.